Because you've got lots of toys, haven't you?
Did you not know I was going to get
Well, do you want a blanket in there for you?
Oh, I might want an extra blanket.
You might want this blanket, mightn't you?
But,
Or this blanket.
because it is winter, I might want that blanket.
You want this one? Well, put that in one of the boxes.
No, because we can leave it on your bed. Like maybe like.
No, we can't. It's got to go into a box, hasn't it?
Okay, maybe when I sleep in it, maybe when I need to get my toys in there, maybe we move it. Okay. Or we could get it on my bed right now. Get on my bed right now, because then we could do it. I only get our.
Aren't you red? On the wood.
Yeah. Can I do that again?
No.
Please.
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the channel. Right, the last video you would have seen me put up an outside security camera. Very impressed with it. I will do a full review of said camera because I am very impressed with it. So I went down to B&Q and I got another one, which I'm going to put the other side, and also an interior one, which is going to go inside. A few jobs to do. We are nearly finished. Today, this happened. I took the carpet off there because it was a bit knackered, if you like, and so I had to rebox in all this corner here because that's where the power cables and the 12-volt cables and everything are coming around that corner because they're coming out the electric cupboard and going around to all the said places. So I had to rip all that off and redo it. So I'm going to finish that off, and I've got some of this schmiddle, which you might have just seen me buy in B&Q, which I'm going to cover that bit with. We'll leave the rest of the cab area for now. I'm going to do it at a later date. It's a big job and we've run out of money, so we're not doing that at the moment. I've got a little extension lead which I'm going to put up 4-way up in here, which will plug in down there. So I'll run that up into there, which means I can plug in the cameras. So I'm going to have one on the back as well later, and the PlayStation and anything else I want to plug in out of the way in that cupboard. And that's about it for the minute. So waiting for Mrs. H, I'm going to do that. And up here you can see the overcab bed, and this is all a bit nasty looking because it's the sheet, so I might put some cladding across there which matches the ceiling here, the under of our bed, just to tidy that up. In the cab area, just needs a good clean up at the moment. I'm not doing anything else in there. We don't have a stereo. I'm not going to have a stereo, I don't think. We just use our Bluetooth speaker. So I might blank that off and mount the reversing camera there. There's a little bit of painting to do outside, which I will do tomorrow. But apart from that, and cleaning, Grace is finished almost. 95.67% finished. I'm 10% sure that I'm 120% right about that. And there we go. Now that looks pretty pucker, if I do say so myself. Never done that before. Brilliant, did the job nice. 14 quid I think that mat was, something like that, or 12. Bingo. What are you doing? IMOU. Anyway, really impressed with it. 40 quid for B&Q. I've got one up on the front of the van. Pointing back this way, covering the passenger door, window and habitation door. I'm going to put one up on the back of the van, pointing down to cover this window and the driver's door. They are 240 volt, not a problem for me because of my setup. I can do that easily. I do have an inside one which I put up, you can see it up there. They're £30. They run off USB. They run at about 5 watts, which is nothing for me, but if you don't have an off-grid setup, then maybe it's something you should not do. So in this cupboard I've got my PlayStation 4, but I've also got if you can see, I've got a 4-way plug there ready to go, which my PlayStation's plugged into, which plugs in behind the telly down there. So I'm going to drill a hole up the top there through the roof like I did on the other side, and then run the cable to the back of the van and put it up there. And that will also mean I can do the same thing and put facing out the back at a later date. If I want to do that, I might do that. We'll see how it goes, but that's what we're doing today. So let's have a look in the box. This pretty box with a security label. Oh, try to do this one-handed. See, as a professional YouTuber that I'm not, I would use a stand, wouldn't I? Instead of my left hand. But anyway, here we go. So you get a bit of foam. Nice, take that out. You get a little template to help you know where to drill your holes, legal stuff, quick start guide, but they're very easy peasy to use. It does take a SD card. I think it's up to 256 megabyte, and when that's full it will just re-record over old stuff, if that makes sense. It goes into there, but it also runs on the cloud, which is a subscription service. I think it's £2.30 per camera or something like that, or if you pay £7 you can have 5 cameras. I'm going to have 3, possibly 4, but we'll see how we go. But that's the camera. It's pretty cool, like it. And then you get your power supply, really long lead, which is really handy. So that's the power plug, and then you get a waterproof thing, which is for an Ethernet, which is for the Ethernet cable, because this can be plugged in direct to your router. Obviously in the van I'm not doing that, so I just on the other side I just sealed it up with some silicone and then run it through some trunking. Anyway, so I'm going to install that, and yeah, we'll get back to you. Oh, I didn't mention you get some screws. So this one's the inside one. As you can see, it's got motion detect, so it follows you around wherever you go, which is quite cool. 30 quid. I'll do a separate review on this one perhaps, but it does link up to the same system, so when you go on the app you can pick which camera you want to look at, or you can look at it in grid view and stuff like that, but we'll look at the app in a minute. And that's just basically going down the wall there and into my USB socket on the wall. I'll hide that with some plastic vinyls. I'm sure Mrs. H will do something with that to make that look neater, but yeah, that's that. That's the one I put outside. Just about see it, sits up there, points down. So before I start, I've strapped the PlayStation up to the wall, so that's nice and solid. And I've also put the 4-way up against the side there, so that's gonna a lot neater. Gonna have all the PlayStation games and stuff and other electronics in there, so that's what that cupboard's gonna be. So let's get on to drill the holes. Drilled a hole up through to the roof, or through the roof. So the power cable is going to plug in there, go up out there. Bob's your monkey. There it is, end. So that's just going to pull out of there. Then it's going to go all the way down to the back of the van over there. Get it out. It's very long, this stuff, which is good. This cable, rather. probably enough. Alright, so the cable easily reaches. There's way too much actually, but there you go. So we're going to position the camera. It's actually juiced up, so the green light's on, flashing, searching for my Wi-Fi, but I haven't set it up yet. But we're going to put it on the back here, there, like that. So it's kind of facing down the side of the van. But we'll offer it up with the app and see what it looks like first, before I actually... First, I don't know why I sounded like a farmer then, but first, before we actually commit to where it's going. So there it is, nice and easy, screwed onto the side of the van. I'll seal all that up with some sealant in a minute, and we'll put all this wire in some trunking, seal it all up, and that's it, job's a good one. And there it is, all sealed up in its trunking, all the way down to the hole at the other end. Lovely jubbly.